So the thing with Matt Baker is, I believe he is the first African American comic book artist. He is also the first gay artist, comic book artist. And also, yes, so Matt Baker, that was the thing with Matt Baker, is he drew the female form so well. He drew like, you ever seen that cover where Phantom Lady's like this and her boobs are like basically hanging out? He drew her, and those covers are fantastically drawn, but worth very, very much. A lot of people love his covers. And he came in, I believe he was like 18 or 19 years old. He came into a studio trying to get a job. He was a teenager. And he just had like a little drawing of a girl they drew. He showed it to, because they called them packers, and packers are basically like a studio would be today. And these studios would just get work from maybe Marvel or DC, usually like more smaller companies, not Marvel, DC, but smaller ones like St. John's. And they were like, here, draw us a comic about this. And then the studio would do it. So he went to the studio, and the guy said, this is the best looking female drawing of like a female character that I've ever seen, and came from this young artist. So he was very talented at a young age. Unfortunately, he had a heart condition and he died at 37. So that makes his covers even more rare, because he's not one of these artists that, you know, has existed for a long time and just had cover after cover after cover after cover. So very limited amount of covers that he has, but a fantastic artist, especially the female form. So anytime a Matt Baker book pops up, it adds a premium to it, especially if it's a Phantom Lady Matt Baker. So fantastic artist, great artist. Unfortunately, he had a heart condition. I don't know exactly what his heart condition was. He died in like, I want to say the like 50s. And a lot of artists that during this time, like during like the 50s, there's a lull in comic books. Comic books kind of like started falling off after World War II, and it's kind of like disintegrated next to like nothing by like, especially superheroes, by like 1950. It wasn't until the resurgence of the Silver Age with Showcase 4 that superheroes came back. So they kind of started falling out of fashion. You got Western and romance stuff that kind of were doing okay, and then some like sci-fi horror stuff that did some okay. But a lot of artists, there wasn't as much money in it, so they left and they became commercial artists. And so some of these old Golden Age artists really didn't. It wasn't like when Neil Adams got it, he was able to do comics in his entire career. There's a point, if you were a Golden Age artist, that the comics kind of like dried up, and so you had to switch careers. So a lot of them went into commercial art. So yeah, unfortunate for comic book artists during this time. But he unfortunately did not make it that far.